Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Texas primary and does this mean a new Texas and a new Democratic Party? Because there's a lot of interesting fault lines appearing in this primary. And it appears to be since Hospice Joe, you know, rigged the DNC to put South Carolina first so he could win the 2024 primary, and this idea that an 85-year-old man should get to pick who Democrats elect president, and the entire base of the party revolting on the idea of South Carolina going first. And it looks like the swing states will be going first for the Democratic primary, which makes sense since you should build a rapport with the voters you actually need to win elections. And a person named Josh Eagle wrote an interesting tweet that has kind of gone through why this primary seems to be engulfing so much chaos on people, and as well as the South Carolina decision, because you always constantly hear this annoying line from Sunny, like on The View, and a bunch of people who are like, the Democratic Party is built on black women, right? This annoying line they keep saying. Sure, the old Democratic Party, but this new Democratic Party is very different. Okay? So he wrote this tweet, I'm going to read it. The Texas Democratic Party and the increasingly shameless attempts by the Crockett campaign to tear down the opposition. And what's becoming clear to me, is that this isn't a petty campaign drama. It's a symptom of a much larger coalition shift underway in the Democratic Party. Crockett and Allred's attack on Talarico rely heavily on identity politics framing, including accusations of racism and suggestions that Talarico has crossed some unforgivable moral Rubicon. And honestly, this kind of attack, even based on unsubstantial rumors, would have been like the death knell in the peak year of Woke 1.0. And obviously, this is likely tactical. Crockett is trailing Talarico in all the polls and can't match his fundraising, but it also reflects anxiety from parts of the old Democratic coalition as they watch the ground shift beneath them. This new emerging Democratic coalition will be more ethnically and economically diverse and less captive to identity politics. And it will include people of color, Hispanic voters, alongside a growing block of suburban college-educated white voters. And it will reclaim the American iconography and openly embrace things long ceded to the right, from Christianity to patriotism to the flag, the Constitution. And it causes stress to a certain demographic of voters. But what they're clinging to didn't survive in 2024, and it's dead for good. The Democratic Party is changing, and the old version isn't coming back. Okay, so this is true. Guess what? This idea that the Democratic Party is built on black women, sure, pre-2024. But post-2026 and beyond, it's not. And I think a lot of the primaries we had, by the way, we're going to use the New Jersey governor primary and the New York City mayoral primaries. Not their general elections, but their primaries, which are, by the way, are two of the most diverse states. Well, one is a state and one is a city in the country. Mikie Sherrill only got 25% of the black vote in her primary, and she won decisively. Zohran Mamdani only got 22% of the black vote in his primary, and he won decisively. So this idea of what older black voters want in their primary is over. Because guess what? Mikie and Zohran, in their respective primaries, in very diverse areas, won everybody else by insane numbers. So this is proving true. And I am going to assume Talarico's going to win. If I were to guess, Crockett's going to win 90% of the black vote, right? But guess what? I think Talarico is going to clean up in every other fucking demographic. Okay? And this is going to be the more shift of what the new Democratic Party is. And I think Ken Martin's waiting to make it official because he wants to see how Texas plays out. Because I think if he sees somehow Crockett wins, he will cave and do the nonsense that South Carolina has to go first and 85-year-old fucking Clyburn matters, what he says. But I think if he sees Talarico pulls it off, he's right, okay, this is done. We don't need to play pretend anymore. This is the new Democratic coalition. It is an educated base and it is a diverse base that we don't have to cede one racial minority's opinion is better than everyone else. That is not what the voters want. Okay, because the party has shifted left on a lot of issues, and having a party that is basically the voters that are center right and not even like the bulwark center right, but are center right of like 1972 is idiotic. Okay, and this entire thing is bullshit. Okay, and I guess there's also some truth to this, is why the Democrats in Illinois and Maryland are like less willing to do redistricting to dilute the VRA districts. But the VRA is going to be destroyed come June, which is going to also be a good thing. Okay? Guess what? Everyone is complaining like, oh, all the minority districts in the South will be wiped out. Okay? Guess what? In the North, they don't have to, they can also be, you can gerrymander the shit out of it. You can do a 48-0 California map. You could do a 18-4 New York map. When you no longer have to draw it perfectly to make minorities happy, you can do it any way you want. And you can be mad that gerrymandering is going to be here forever, but it is, okay? And it is a race to the bottom, and that is what it is. This is the new coalition, okay? And you know what? And it sucks, because in certain districts, actually, I don't know, depending on who draws the districts. If they draw the districts correctly, we hopefully are in a situation where, like, where people like Kat Abazaza or the crazy woke chick who ran in Nashville hopefully do not win their primaries, because this is also the bad thing. You don't want the woke identity people, the white guilt woke identity people to win their primaries, because they are also the epitome of the cringy version of identity politics that everyone hates. Okay? I do not care what your fucking race or gender is. You're like, you know who's a great example of that? Biden's shitty press secretary, not the ginger with the bad spray tan, but the other one who like was very incompetent on her job and like wrote her book, and she constantly was on the press tour. She was like, as a gay black woman, was like how she fucking started every goddamn sentence. And I was like, that is peak identity politics that people are tired of. I don't give a shit about that. Economics, boom, boom, boom. I do not give two shits that you're like, my trauma did this, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of these people who like love identity politics should just watch Industry Season 4, because this era of nonsense is over and people are done with it. Though seems to be fascinating that the only people who are still obsessed with it is like the cringy rich white like women situation, like who love Rachel Maddow and they have the Kara Swisher haircut and all that. Like Billie Eilish did that stupid thing to say no one is illegal on stolen land, and in 2020 this would have been like a huge cheer. Here is my black square or my yellow square or whatever the flavor of the month progressive cause was. Now everyone's just kind of memeing it, and they're like, you know what, on no parking spot is illegal on stolen land. Like now it's just become meme because everyone thinks it's so stupid. And like we just realized if we just constantly mock the identitarian woke people, they have no power, right? They're being fired from managerial roles, right? All the bullshit fluffy title they were given in 2021. This era is over, okay? It's good. It's just funny when people are trying to do it again. People are like, no, we're done with that bullshit, okay? It's great. And you kind of like, and it was interesting to watch like the backlash with the fucking Yang, the Andrew Yang, what is it called? The Andrew Yang and the gay white guy that he hosts a podcast with, where they're like, I like Talarico, Croc is too defined and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, how dare you? And everyone attacked them. How dare you not support a black woman? And like, and then people are like, no, you're allowed to choose who you want. People want to win. Okay, it's about electability. You know what? And guess what? Crockett, she can easily win in fucking Maryland or Illinois or probably not Virginia or, she could do this. Like we were seeing it, like everybody is like carpet bagging random fucking districts, whether it's New York 12 or Florida fucking 21. Okay? Just you gotta be realistic about the districts you're in. Okay? And look, if she's gonna lose, hopefully, and then she can just have a fucking podcast on Pod Save America reading fucking AG1 ad reads. Okay? Actually, maybe not, because it seems like Pod Save America's in the back for Talarico. The good choice. Though it is weird that they're fucking choosing the shitty guy over Mallory. By the way, I like Mallory McMorrow. She's hot. Okay? That's my politics. Like, who's hot? Mallory McMorrow. Like, look, I like Mallory McMorrow. I like Talarico. I like, there's a crypto guy running in Virginia who's young. I also like, who else are in these various primaries? Well, I'm actually I like I think Flanagan's hot. She should win Minnesota, but I also think like because Klobuchar is running for governor, Craig can have the other seat. He can do the bullshit girl power feminism nonsense, and they both get to be senators. And like no one should be really mad. Though it is interesting that like Liz Smith is most likely gonna go like 1 for 4 in her Senate picks. You know, and I hope Plattner wins. Obviously, fuck Janet Mills, 77-year-old fucking coffin, and all the other bullshit. It's okay. Also, what else? What else do I want to talk about here? Okay. I think that is everything. Is it? I think so. Oh, the ICE, yeah, ICE people should wear cameras and not have masks. That's my stance on that, and maybe shouldn't be gunning down people and all this. But I think people also have to understand. I think they recently changed the rules of like because we were like why are border patrol there? I don't think people forget Canada's a foreign country, okay, and the rules of border patrol is like within 200 miles of of both either a coastline, so like all in New Jersey and New York are like ICE could do their stuff there or whatever. But Canada, it's like a border country. People forget this. Now, theoretically, if Canada became the 51st state, then ICE would not be in Minneapolis. That's just how that would work. Okay? And I think that is everything. Oh, Fallout finale drops tonight. Okay? And if you're mad at me, I don't really care. And stop listening. To all campaigns. I think this has got to be a good food for thought. Ignore any woman with a shaved head or blue hair, and you will avoid a lot of the fucking, or the Rachel Maddow haircut. You will avoid a lot of fucking problems. Because I always constantly see this. It's always a quote unquote Democratic influencer, and they always look the same. Or it's that giant fat girl who's like really fucking annoying. Olivia, whatever. Like, why the fuck is she not on Ozempic or Wegovy? Like, the pill is $150. Okay? We're done. It's 2026. We're done. Fat is not beautiful. Okay? Now, body positivity is for the pores. Okay? Get these shots in arms or the pill. I am not a medical professional. Yes. And if you hate me, I don't really care because I don't.